Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess, and this is almost as awkward as the second time I lost my virginity. But last night we did a live stream and we picked out the knife I'm carrying this week, and you guys picked out the Fox Edge FE044. Now, if you want to help decide what knife I carry for the week, drop by the live streams and hang out. We have a lot of fun and make decisions like this. And this time it came down to this and the Camillus Cirque. And I thought you guys were going to go with the Cirque. But every time I think you guys are going to go left, you go right. Every time I think you're going to hamburger, you hot dog. You guys are crazy. But this was a gift from Wilderness Bushcraft, you son of a bitch! And he gave it to me on the way to Blade Show back in June. And we're going to take a look at what we're holding real quick. And first things first, and most importantly, the pocket clip is tip up. And say it with me, children, which is the Lord's carry. We got a lanyard hole here. We got a steel frame lock. We've got one single olive wood scale. We got a flipper tab, so let's flick the bean. And 3.75 inches of 8CR13 with a titanium nitride coating. And so, like, out of the, like, as soon as I took this thing out, one thing that I noticed right away is, let's see if I can get it right. I don't know if you can hear that, but that is a ton of lock rock. I mean, a ton. This blade is loose as hell in here. And this screw was almost completely backed out. Without being touched, it just never got tightened down. So I had to tighten this down on the last take, and then I hit a point where I didn't like the last take anymore, so I had to delete it, but just trust me, I had to tighten this down. You know, and this thing just reeks of cheapness. This is 100% of a gas station knife. This thing has got a face only a flea market could love. Like, you know, going into that Revo Canyon, I thought, hey, this thing is trash, but it might be fun trash. I don't even think this is going to be fun trash. This is just going to be kind of a miserable week with this thing, just having it in my pocket and having to use it. Like that rattle is going to drive me nuts. Like, it opens smoothly enough. I mean, the close, it's kind of smooth. I'm pretty sure it's on bearings, but I'm not going to take it apart to look. It's just, oh my God, everything is put together so cheap. And like the lock here, the lock is not quite engaged far enough. Like, as loose as this is, you can push the lock all the way over to here, and you'll get full engagement over here. Like here, you can stop the lock rock, but here, you got your lock rock. So the assembly on this thing was dirt cheap. You know, like, and this was in a battle box, which explains part of it. You know, that's your loot crate for EDC stuff, and they got it as cheap as they possibly could. And on the website, they list it as $25.99. That's about $22 too much for this thing. I mean, and I'm not even being, like, hyperbolic here. Like, this thing is worth maybe $6 tops. It's just like the knife that I got from Amazon, the cheapest one possible, feels better than this does. The only thing that one doesn't have is this one is a larger knife, and it's contoured maybe a little bit better, we'll see. But, you know, this thing, it's terrible all the way around. And when you see that placement of the screws on the pocket clip, you're probably in for a bad time. That is like one of the worst varieties of pocket clip out there. And of course, the single scale on the show side, that is one of two different things. Either you're on a dirt cheap, god-awful, nasty knife, and that extra cost wasn't worth it, or you're dealing with something very high-end with very expensive materials on the show side, so this side gets left blank, or someone's making an artistic statement. At least, in my experience, that's what I've seen. I haven't seen very many just mid-range, affordable for everyone production knives that just have one scale. Maybe you have seen more of that than I have, but I haven't really seen it. So, you know, this is definitely going to be a rough week. I am just going to be glad to get this over and done with and move on to something else. And maybe next week y'all get to pick between two nicer knives to wash the taste of this thing out of my mouth. Like I said, my predictions are it's going to carry enough. Like, it's not going to be the most comfortable carry. It's probably going to be mildly irritating the whole time. I don't think it's going to cut well. I don't think it's going to start feeling any better. I think the action might loosen up a bit more over the course of the week. Let's take a look at this factory edge, though. So the factory edge is maybe a 5 out of 10 if we're being generous here. Like, this thing just does not like cutting. Like, it cuts, but Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's not a great factory edge. It might be good enough to get the plastic off of the pallets, and that bottom layer, that single layer at the bottom, is probably going to be a bit of a chore. But at least it should cut things. Cardboard, it should be all right at. Like, this is a hollow all the way up to the top, but the blade stock isn't super thick. So it's either going to be a little bit of a wedge and take a little bit of extra effort to push through the cardboard, or it's going to be a breeze. One of those, I can't call it yet. I don't think I've done this particular grind with a hollow going all the way up to the top yet on anything, so we'll see how that works out. But, man, just straight, this thing is trash. It is trash. And, you know, Wilderness Bushcraft said, these things are trash. And it's like, I've handled trash knives. I have spent 10 weeks carrying Temu knives. It can't be that bad. It can be that bad. I flicked the bean again. I bet you guys didn't see that coming. I surprised you. Surprise. But, yeah, like some of the Temu knives that I had are significantly better than this thing is. So, you know, we're going to get through the week. I'll do the follow-up video on it, and it's going to go in the box for a live stream. So at some point, it'll be put through Cardboard Slayer, and then it'll be put to rest, and the light of God will never shine upon it again. But this is our first sniff of the Fox Edge FE044. We're going to see how this week goes with it. But all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate it so much. I'm giving away 4 knives real soon here because we just hit 2K because you guys are crazy. So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't subbed, please do. Get in on that drawing. That video is going up very soon here. Comments, I love some feedback. Let's roast this thing. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.